This is apple juice. It's holiday white apple juice.
Of course, white apple juice.
Yes. It's not by Sam Adams.
They make water.
Yeah, that tastes like apple juice.
Oh, man. All right, it's been a long day, people.
It's been a long one.
It's been a good one, just a long one.
It's good, but now we're tired.
Yeah. So we'll just wrap this up. We got like
Yes.
18 minutes, so I think that's good.
Yes.
So this last one, which could go on for like an hour, but it's probably best that we have. It's best that we have this timer.
Yeah.
So your last interest, you shared it with me before, and it is?
Yes. It's being selective about who you let into your inner circle.
Nice, I like that. Now,
Cool.
before we get into that, I feel
Yes.
like people are like, what the heck's an inner circle?
Oh, well, inner circle are the people closest to you. So the ones who have greater importance than like your colleagues and, people who are like,
Acquaintances.
Yeah. So the people, you know that saying where it's like, show me the five, the five, what is it, most influential people in your life, and I'll know exactly who you are.
Oh, yeah.
Those.
Yeah.
And they could be family too.
Yeah, they could be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're interested in, and you think it's important to be selective with who's in that.
100%. And it's like, it's been a long time coming because I've been a person, as you know, like, and, people are probably shocked by this because like when people meet me, or people who know me, like, they just think I'm this confident person who doesn't take shizzle from anybody. I'm trying to let him monetize this eventually, so I can't curse. It's really hard.
I think I'm an idiot.
So, so a lot of people who meet me, they just think like I'm just this confident person. I don't take smack from anybody. But that's kind of the truth now, but it hasn't been the truth for a good majority of my life. Mm-hmm. And I always felt like when it came to friends, I just have to take what I can get. And I let a lot of people in my life who are just not good for me at the end of the day. It's like I realize now looking back, there were people who they liked my attention, and they liked my attention because I was a people pleaser. I was living to please everyone else essentially. And what does that mean exactly? Well, I always wanted the person to basically be happy. I never wanted to rock the boat, because I was scared of the consequences. But guess what? That never led to solid friendships. Like, the only solid friendships I have right now, I could count them on one hand. And one of them being Ken. And a lot of people throughout my life, they dropped off, or I dropped them off. When I actually grew a spine.
I just picture you dropping them off at school. Like, hey, I'll drop you off and I'm not going to pick you back up. Have a good day.
See you later. Never.
Yeah.
So
I've done that too.
Yeah.
This year more than ever.
Exactly. And I realize now how important it is because, I started to work on what do I want? I finally put the spotlight back on me, and I saw how I was looking to see, why am I miserable? Why am I sad? Well, one of the reasons was I let people into my life who just don't belong there. People who give me no value, but I give them so much value.
That's huge.
People who bring me absolutely no happiness, but I'm with them because I feel like I won't find other people who would like me. But then when I think about it, I'm like, but this person doesn't even really like me. They like what I do for them.
Yeah.
They like my gifts. They like my attention. They like that I listen to them like a freaking therapist.
Yeah. Or your energy gets them out of their bad energy. Or your humor, it gets them out of their, bad energy.
Like some of my friends, not my friends anymore, like I feel like I gave them street cred. Like they didn't have much of a personality, but when they paraded me around their group of friends, oh my gosh, they lifted me up like I was like, the coolest person. But then when their friends would leave, they would treat me kind of shitty. Schmish.
Yeah, it's okay. I have to cough really loud every time. They treat me very... I yell out the word poorly when I cough too. Poorly!
Yeah. So basically, these people, and basically it's just looking at the root of why am I unhappy, and that was a component where, and it was hard, because a lot of these people I knew for many years.
Yeah, it's hard.
And of course, when you've been a people pleaser for so long, and you cut off their supply, you think they're gonna leave without causing a war?
Yeah.
No, I've had so many ex-friends. No, they are ex-friends. Friends blow up in my face when I'm like, I'm done. I didn't say it exactly like that, but when I was basically like, I'm done with this friendship. I can't go on like this.
Yeah.
Man. And of course these same people will make you feel like you're the bad guy.
I know.
You were always the bad guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're doing good for something for yourself. Mm-mm.
They don't like it. As soon as you do something that benefits you, like those are the people who will not support it one bit.
Yeah. So it's almost like I learned something very recently. It's almost like a relationship needs to be like a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
I was so used to it, and I know you could admit to this as well. So used to giving 100%, maybe even 120%. No wonder we felt so exhausted. So if you have a good friendship, then you can meet 50%, Like after this, if I turn this off and get tired and I become like boring and I don't feel like, like being happy and joyful, I know you're going to like me either way. It's fine. Like that's the important thing, and then because I knew I did my 50% and then you're doing yours. So like, you don't have to, I don't have to go and do more just to like appease Helen, and you don't feel like you'll have to do more. Oh, Ken looks like he's bored now. He sat on the couch, like I better, like none of that. And that's where, that's like real relationship, and that's who I think you should have in your circle, because otherwise it's friggin' tiring.
You touched on really good points. The fact that you have to really take a step back and see what relationships energize you and what completely, exactly what you said, exhaust you. And when I really look at a lot of the friendships I had, most of them exhausted me. And for a little bit, I thought, again, because people pleaser mindset, oh, it must be me. Yeah. I'm doing something wrong. And a lot of these people who are not good to you, they'll make you feel like you're, like I said, you're always in the wrong.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, it's always you. So that also blinds you too. When you don't have high self-esteem and then you have these people who essentially have the upper hand, it's so hard to see the light and be like, whoa, this is not right.
Yeah.
And to stick up for yourself is really hard, especially when you're going to rock the boat.
Yeah.
But now
they're used to being you performing in that role. So all of a sudden you're not in that role. And if they're used to it for years and you don't do it in the course of 2 to 3 weeks, they're like, that's really fast turnaround.
Yeah, it rocks their world.
Boat.
Exactly, yeah. And another thing you touched on too is basically being a clown. You didn't say it.
Yeah.
But I thought about it.
An entertainer, yeah.
An entertainer, yeah. And that's how I felt with a lot of friendships. When they were sad, I felt like I had to pick them up out of their sadness, even though nothing I did helped.
Yeah.
Nothing I did help. Because at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own happiness. Not your mother, not your girlfriend, not your boyfriend, not your brother, not your sister, not your coworker. You're responsible for your own happiness. And another thing I learned too that really spoke volumes to me before I even started like weeding out who was bad for me, who was good for me, you have to teach people how to respect you.
Ooh, yeah. I like that.
Because people will treat you how they want to treat you.
Yeah.
You have to be responsible to be like, no, that's not cool. This is my boundary.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, they're just going to keep treating you the way that they want to treat you.
Yeah.
But here's another double-edged sword, basically. Maybe that's not even the right phrase. But some people, when you put your boundary, they're not going to respect that. They're going to either walk over it or they're just going to make you feel bad for it. But guess what? That's when you got to be like, all right, next.
Yeah.
I don't need you in my life.
Yeah.
You don't respect me. I don't respect that you don't respect me.
Exactly. Exactly. And exactly. So therefore you got to like take it as, okay, that's who you are. And this isn't going to work, and goodbye. And if they're a coworker, then I'm going to treat you just as like what we need to do to get business done, and then that's it. I don't need to go grab a drink with you. I don't need to try to win your friendship or your favor or anything like that, because that's when you try to get into the entertainer mentality and the winning over, and because the entertainer tries to win over the crowd. It's too tiring to do that.
Not only is it like tiring, like you really, I don't know if we touched on it already in the video, but you really lose your sense of self. You don't know, you have no identity.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you start to lose it.
Yeah, you start to lose it, you go home. I remember going home so many nights, pretty much for, I want to say, a good chunk of my life.
Yeah.
And I either have no idea what I'm interested in because I'm constantly interested in what everyone else is interested in, or I think my interests are stupid because I feel like everyone else's interests are better than mine because they're just not me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And because because they're not me, this is how my brain used to work. So stupid. Just because they're not me, I thought they were better than me.
Yeah.
So I always thought I was the lowest denominator.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I felt that way.
it took a lot of life lessons, took a lot of therapy to realize this and to actually make change. When I first started rocking the boat with a bunch of people, man, it was scary. Man, did I sweat. Man, did I shake.
Me too.
Man, did I think as soon as I did it, oh my God, I did something wrong. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. You know? But now, honestly, it got easier. Do I still struggle with certain people? Yeah, I struggle a lot with family, as you know. Family is a really hard one.
It is.
Because you can't choose family. You could choose your friends. But here's the thing. Family, although they're blood, they may not be good for you. And that's a real tough pill people have a hard time swallowing. I had a hard time swallowing it too. But when I weighed the pros and the cons of either let these people walk over me and not have any boundaries, I realized I really had to set those boundaries and enforce them. And for a while, like, as you know, my family didn't freaking talk to me. I was the bad guy for like 2 years. Like, my mom didn't talk to me for a while. But guess what? Now, our relationship, stronger than ever. My mom, who is very, I don't want to give too much information.
Yeah, you don't have to.
But extremely conservative, as we were just talking about, she's so much more progressive now. So, like, yeah, when it comes to family, it's a little bit more difficult, but you still, I feel like, at least for me, if I didn't put my boundaries down and said, this is how you respect me, and if you don't, you won't hear from me.
Yeah.
If I didn't do that, I'd still feel miserable.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just the
That's the
doormat.
ironic thing. Yeah, that's the tough part is, like, you have to, with family members or even maybe with some other people, like coworkers, again, you can't really get around that. You have to find a way to let them know. It's almost like leading by example. You have to let them know, like, look, this is it. And then they're going to go like, they're going to say, okay. And the ironic thing is if you fell into their trap and continued their thing, they wouldn't, down the line, you wouldn't be any happier and they wouldn't be any happier either.
Exactly.
Which is like kind of the mind-blowing thing.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, if I played into your game, we'd both smash into a wall and be unhappy. Like, so you can't tell them these things.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is kind of lead by example, like I said, set those boundaries, like you said. This is what's happening. This is how you treat me, and this is how I treat you. And then eventually, it could turn around, like in your situation.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can't, and that's another pill that one must swallow.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's the reality of it all.
Yeah. But also, I feel like at the base, in order to do this, you really have to know your worth and know your value. And again, which also I touched on it in my interview segment, scarcity. Whenever scarcity comes in, that's when you lose. When you have fear because you think you'll never have something again, that's when you freaking lose. That's when you stay stuck.
Yeah.
And that applies to so many things, but
it does.
Especially with relationships.
Oh, yeah. Romantic relationships is a big one.
100%. I'm not going to lie. When my most recent boyfriend broke up with me, he's one of the best guys I ever been with, that was pretty devastating. And at many points, I was like, I don't want to date again because how am I going to meet another guy like that? You know?
That's it. That's a scarcity.
Yeah, that's scarcity mindset. But then another part of me was like, you know what? I'm going to meet the next guy just like I met this one. I'm just going to work on...
I like that.
Yeah. I'm just going to work on being my best self. And if he comes along, great. If he doesn't, that's fine too. Because guess what? My life is so freaking rich and so awesome. It doesn't rank so high as when my life is kind of boring and I'm putting it on a pedestal.
I like what you said. And I feel like I need to hear that too sometimes. You're like, oh man, my last boyfriend, I don't know if I'm going to get another good one. But you drew your first boyfriend, that good one into you. You had what it takes.
Yeah.
And if you're progressing, which you are, then you're gonna only do even better.
Yeah.
Possibly. You know? So it's good. It's good to remember that. It's like, damn, look at what I did. Like, let's just not forget about that.
Yeah.
And think, oh, woe is me. How am I ever gonna get another one? It's like you drew him into your life.
Exactly.
So that's good I'm glad you said that. I need to hear that.
And
a lot of things.
And in that relationship too, because it's so different than every other relationship I had, you know, we were coworkers. We were just friends. Both of us were like, I would never date you. Ew. Like, absolutely not. It just
on a scale
happened.
of 1 to ew.
Yeah, it just happened. And for me personally, like, dating just never worked. Dating was always just, you know, crummy guy after crummy guy, I know you like Daniel, but crummy guy,
yes,
crummy guy after crummy guy after crummy guy. He ended up being crummy. I know you like him, but that, you know, that's your relationship with him.
He's he's in a picture frame. He's just They'll just leave it as is.
I know you're Team Daniel, and he's probably more Team Ken. Just long story short, he came to visit me in Florida, and then my then boyfriend at the time and him had a bromance. I was a third wheel.
Greatest 24 hours of our lives.
That it was honestly, even if I was a third wheel, awesome freaking day. One for the freaking books.
Absolutely.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyways, I guess what I'm trying to say is like when I was basically because I was more focused. Now I was still dating other people, but like he's kind of my boyfriend now. So the one I really like. You know, he saw me bettering myself. So I was going to school, I was working full time. So I was basically like working on myself. And then he just happened. You know, it wasn't me going on a dating website.
Yeah.
Looking for someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And settling and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And the one thing too is like him and I, like, we actually developed a friendship. So
that's important.
It's very important.
You know, I was thinking about that actually. Like, when we say I love you to family members, and we also say I love you to our romantic partners.
Yeah.
Granted, they are two different kinds of love, but in a way they're not. So, like, when you look at your mother, father, nephew, niece, whoever, grandmother, and you say I love you, that means obviously that there's a friendship there. There's like my personality appreciates your personality.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it seems like with romance, it's like, oh, I love you. It's got to be this like explosion of like high feeling. And they're like, friends, what's that? I almost cursed too. Yeah. I was like, what? I almost did the big one. I was like, what's that? Like, we don't need that. Yeah. Like, yeah, you do. Yeah. You really do. Because, you know, once that spark is gone, like what else is there? You got to have like a bond, you know? Yeah. So I like how you're like friends with him. That's important. I think it's a simple thing that people need to know. Yeah. And I would really I just want to add too, I think it'd be cool, like I'm single right now, but I think it'd be cool if my next girlfriend, or at least whoever, maybe not my next one, but like I'll know it's a good girlfriend when she is in my inner circle.
I'll know it's a good girlfriend when I scan her.
That too, yeah.
And I'll let you know if she's a good girlfriend, okay?
But I want her to be in my inner circle. Yeah, so I really want, me personally, my next girlfriend or whatever, how I know it'll be serious is when she's in my group. I personally want someone who can be like a friend, a confidant, and a romantic partner as well. Because I know a lot of people who they're like, oh, what do I do with my romantic partner, with this, with that? And it's like, have you ever tried just telling her or telling him like how you feel? Like, no. It's like, no, I need to like not let them know, and I need to tell you and ask you for advice, and you can tell me what to do to covertly go around this whole thing. It's like, what are you doing? Why is this a chess game? Just tell them. And you know, you can't talk to everyone about everything. I understand that. There are some, like, you're one of my inner circle people. Yeah. There may be something that I'm having trouble with that I will go to you for, absolutely. There'll be other things that I'm having trouble with that I may not go to you for, and I'll go to like a male friend for. Let's say.
I respect that.
Yeah, because it's just natural. It is. Yeah. I'm not hiding anything from you. No. I just know that like I'm in a tough spot. Someone might be able to help me a little bit better. Yeah. So I understand like when there's like a romantic partner, do I have to come to her for everything? No, you don't have to. You don't have to say everything. But can I share important feelings and like important moods that I'm in? Absolutely. Yeah, that needs to be a thing. Yeah. I think so. And if you can't like share much and you're only trying to get this like high drug supply off of like we're in like I see stars and sparks and that's it, but we're really not compatible. It's like that's not the way to go.
It's not a mature relationship. And that's what people don't understand. And you know, and that's where what am I trying to say? Well, here's the thing. Everyone's into instant gratification. Everyone's into that.
Well, these really help, don't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's one of the culprits. And we want things now. We don't want to wait for anything. But guess what? When it comes to things like relationships, even friendships, they don't happen overnight. They're so superficial. because you have to get to know someone even when they're at their worst. Like, my most recent boyfriend, I'm just going to call him my boyfriend. We're taking things slow.
Yeah.
My most recent boyfriend, like, when we were friends, he saw me go through the ringer, and he was still my friend.
Yeah.
I was mean to him multiple times. This is how mean I was to him. Like, when we were still, like, not so good friends, he'd message me at work, like, hey, how was your weekend? I'm like, how did you think my weekend went? Because I'm in school full-time, B, like, I have no life.
Yeah, you were busy, yeah.
But he even though I was, like, kind of fresh, he was never phased.
Yeah.
So, like, here's someone who saw me for exactly who I was, and he still stuck around, and even, like, he didn't feel romantic at the time. We just had such a solid relationship that eventually blossomed. And like I said, that's so new to me. I've never dated a guy I've been friends with. It's always been some random guy on Tinder, some random guy on Bumble, a high school guy,
Yeah.
So
Number 37 on the football team, all the way over there.
Yeah, exactly. And I literally never had that before. And are we going to be together forever? I don't freaking know, but it's nice. And
but if you're not, then you've gotten a taste of what you want even
exactly.
Furthermore,
Yeah. And
Definitely.
like I said, the same formula. Like
you're on the right track. It feels is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Let's move it over to friendships too. Like now, like my only friends, again, I could count them on one hand. It's Ken. One of them's Ken.
It's
Ken's
all
my best
Ken.
friend.
It's actually just all Ken. Kenneth, Kenny.
I don't want to give it all away because, like, I think, like, at this point, like, some people, like, I know haven't made this list, and I just don't want to make that
No, you don't have to say who it is.
No, but Ken's one of my really good friends.
Someone's like number 6. If I had an extra finger, you'd be there, but I don't, so.
Yeah. But, like, like, with me and Ken, like, back when we were, like, like, I don't want to say still getting to know each other, but, like, we had disagreements. We had falling out. Nothing like, crazy, but we've had times where we didn't talk for years.
Yeah.
And then we rekindled it, and, it just, like, I guess maybe because our personalities meshed and we're on the same, like, in terms of, like, personal journeys.
Yeah.
Like, we had that, that common ground.
Yeah. Yeah, but it did take a while, you're right.
It took a long time. Like, even, like,
the first time we were friends, it was, like, pretty, like...
It was still superficial.
I was pretty nervous. And,
yeah.
Like, I think we weren't sure where it was going. Not just in terms of anything, just anything. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And plus, I was also, like, what? You were 19, I was 20 or something like that?
Yeah, we were, like, really, really
So I,
young.
too, was still finding myself. I'm like, who should I was probably thinking, who should I be around her? Like, what is she like?
No,
not like that,
too.
psychotically, but, like, what is she like? What is she not like? Oh, this isn't funny. Don't say that again. Like, why? Just say what I want.
Yeah, but no, same with me, too. So it's, like, I guess, like, what I'm trying to say, like, in using this example is that, we didn't run away when we saw each other's low points or things we thought, like, would be off-putting.
Yeah.
So, like, you have to screen everyone, and this is my opinion. In my opinion, you have to screen everyone and vet them properly. Now, it doesn't mean, like, have someone on trial for 10 years, But, listen to things as they go along, and you got to speak up when something bothers you. Not only do you have to speak up when something bothers you, you have to make it known that it's not okay. You have to set that boundary, but you have to see how that person reacts.
Yeah.
If they react negatively, you might want to spend less time with them.
Yeah.
And if they continue to be shitty, well, you...
I gotcha.
If they continue to be shitty... if they continue to be shitty, then the third time, you're not getting monetized. I'm sorry, Ken, you're not getting monetized.
It's kid friendly.
Oh, you put this for kids to watch?
Not this one.
I drank apple juice on the camera.
Oh, that's right. Then definitely not.
But yeah, so basically you have to vet everyone in your life, and you have to,
We're talking about periods in the other one too. This whole thing is. Only if you're 85 years and older are you able to watch this.
That's true. I don't think...
If you're mature enough.
Hey, I'll watch all of these.
Yeah.
I watch all the ones with Lance. I'll watch all these
Nice.
too.
Yeah, me too.
So, but yeah, what I'm trying to say is, like, at least with me, I'm done with shallow relationships, and I only want people who bring me value. And some people think, oh, but you should stick with someone thick and thin. Yeah, if they're worth it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What are they giving you? I'm not a believer of unconditional love. I think that's BS, even when it comes to family. Because when you love someone unconditionally, that leaves room for them to be really crummy and for you to have to be the doormat. Yeah. Oh, but I still love them. Oh, my friend just called me the C word. I still love her.
Yeah.
How about you tell her, hey, that's not cool.
Yeah.
We can't hang out until you straighten that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm sorry, unconditional love, not for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ironic. It's interesting. I mean, not ironic. It's interesting that
what you trying to say?
I don't know. Just move on, because I don't even know.
Let me just have some apple juice.
Enjoy your apple juice, yeah. I'll just do a dance. No,
okay, I'll move on.
This topic is really heavy, because it's just, I feel like my brain, I only have one mouth and like 18 different things to say at any time on it.
What's the first one that comes to mind right now, even though it may not be super relevant?
It'll be relevant. Okay. I mean, even on this topic, I have so many things to say all the time
of course.
on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna keep thinking about it.
Sure.
This is your interest. So.
I'll keep going.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, but also
for like the 10 minutes that we have left. So.
Yeah, but also it's like it's I'm not just saying this like I'm this perfect.
Yeah.
I want everyone to behave a certain way with me. No, I'm the type of person, I put a lot in relationships. You feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So we're the type of people that we put a lot in relationships. We really want them to work, whether they're romantic, whether they're, just
I feel
friends.
it. I mean, you live in Florida now, and I still feel it.
Yeah.
Like that you wanted it to work, and I'm sure you feel the same, so.
Yeah. I find myself, if I don't hear from Ken in, a week, I'm like, let me check up, what's going on? And he could just be like, yo, I'm good. And I'm like, yeah, he's good. He's good. That's good. We don't have to
just
talk.
want to know there's not a knife in his neck. That's all.
Yeah, and I feel the same way about certain other people. Again, I don't want to list them off because if
we don't have to.
Some people
say names.
are not on the list anymore. But no, it's really important.
They're on the toe. You may have made number toe 20th. I have friends.
Exactly. And there's some people who I wouldn't say they're my inner circle, but they were just such good people, and I have to reach out to them. Like my friend Santiago, I haven't reached out to him in a long time. He's in California.
Is that the one we were just talking about?
No, that's Francisco.
Okay.
Apparently I have a lot of Latin male friends.
Yes, you do.
That's another thing.
And I've all met them only once. So I'm like, who's who? I don't know.
No, but that's another thing. I guess with me, as you know, I just get along better with men.
Yeah.
I think it stems from the fact that I was raised with a brother.
Mm.
And with women, I have a harder time getting along with. I have way less female friends than I do male friends. And that's just the reality, and that's honestly how I like it. And it's not like I'm sexist.
Get your own kind.
It just happened. For me, I just have a hard time. I have a hard time meeting women who are not jealous, women who are not passive aggressive, women who are not, out to make me feel bad because they're insecure.
Mm.
And I don't find that with men. The only thing I have with men is sometimes they have a crush on me, and then I'm like,
yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, a lot of the men that not a lot of the men, some men that we went on a few dates or whatever, we're still friends now. It just didn't work, but it doesn't mean we have to not be friends.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say names, but so yeah, I don't know. I kind of started rambling.
That's all right. We can go back to the topic, and maybe that'll help us out.
Yeah. So again, being picky about who you let in your inner circle. Look and see who energizes you, who really drains you, and you have to really take a step back because you might find yourself making excuses for people who don't deserve it. If you find yourself making excuses for people giving you crummy behavior, you got to really rethink that friendship. You really have to rethink that relationship if it's a family member.
You know what's helped me? Tony Robbins used to talk about, if you push yourself towards something, everyone's like, go push, you can push yourself, push. That eventually, stops. That eventually gets tiring, and it gets, you have to use willpower, you have to use physical energy, and it's not going to be continuous.
Yeah.
But if you So if you feel relationships where you need to constantly push, like we've talked about, and put all that energy in, it ain't gonna work.
Exactly.
If you let those go and then just hang out with the people that you feel pulled towards naturally, and they feel pulled naturally towards you, then it's really that easy.
Yeah.
And then just you have to have the mental toughness to be like, okay, I don't, you may not want to hurt this person, but here's two things that I learned: get pulled towards people who are pulled towards you, and that like work. They're good people,
Yeah.
That I'm not saying like a bank robber who's pulled towards you because he needs a getaway driver.
Yeah.
But like a good person that's pulled towards you as you're pulled towards them, and then also someone who is not gonna like be like try to change you. I think is a pretty important one. Like. Because they may pull you in and they'd be like, "Hey, so are you a Jets fan yet?" Or like, do you like ballet? It's like, what? No, I'm cool with you. Just be cool with me, and that's it. And the third and final thing I wanted to say is, and if you guys are not congruent, then you're not.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I thought I had to be like really close with people, or like for some reason it was like we were distant and I was like bad with them. No, it's just I'm living my life. They're living their life.
Yeah.
If I'm not friends with them, like because we don't work out, like like they just want to talk about I don't know, like exercise and like I don't know, a baseball team all the time. Like nah, I can't do that. Like I do a little bit but not all the time.
Yeah.
Then that's fine. There's no like anything that says I have to, like no contract.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you touched on so many great points there. Well, now I can only think of the one because there's like so many, and then I had so many ideas.
I tried to sum it up into 3.
Yeah.
Get pulled by someone who's pulled into you. Don't change yourself. I'll stop there if you need to.
No. That's really good. And he actually reminded me, but I like immediately forgot. So
I know.
No.
Some of these concepts are so big. It's tough.
Yeah, but it's like I'm also getting tired now, and I had too much apple juice.
Well, that's gonna ring soon, and we'll be done.
The brain is slowing down.
Yeah.
But no, one thing you touched on was
I know you're jet lagged. Flying from Florida.
No. It was 2 hours.
I know, and you didn't change time zones.
No. So, no, one thing you touched on was if someone's a project. Actually, that's what my therapist told me. If like she blatantly told me you don't need projects, and that spoke to me so.
I know.
Heavy.
I used to seek out projects. Isn't that tiring?
Well, I didn't seek them out. I attracted them.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because the projects love me.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
And then you accepted the challenge, I'm sure.
I didn't accept the challenge. I thought that's the best I could get. I'm like, oh, this person's into me, but why are they into me? Because they like my energy. They like to leech off of my benefits, but they're nasty to me. They put me down. They invalidate me. They guilt me when I don't agree with them. So I guess it goes back to the topic. Oh no, what I want to say was like I realized that I like friendships that are easy. My friendship with Ken, so easy. Yeah. So easy. I like we can't like we could go for months without speaking, and then we just pick up where we left like it was yesterday we spoke.
You got dropped off here, we walked upstairs, we made like a 3-minute joke about shoes.
Yeah.
And it was like the first 5 minutes I saw you, not even.
That was so funny.
And it was not only was it hilarious, but it was also easy.
Yes.
I wasn't like, let me pull out my shoe joke routine.
Exactly.
Like, you're just talking.
Yeah, and I realized
that's the key.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. We're pulled towards that.
Exactly.
We're pulled towards the same type of humor, towards whatever.
Yeah. I realized friendships in particular, maybe not family, issues, but at least friendships, they should be, in my opinion, they should be easy. You shouldn't feel like you're trying too hard with someone. You shouldn't feel like you're walking on eggshells with somebody. Friendships, relationships. Again, you could pick these people. And you could take them out of your life too. Yeah. And that's the beauty of it. And that's what I started embracing. And man, is my life so much better now.
Yeah, it sounds it.
And it's just great. It's great, it's great to just, again, just finding your own value and catering to your needs. Let other people take care of themselves. You're not going to save anyone anyway. Yeah. Oh, another thing I want to touch on. People will change if they want to change. You can't change anybody.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding. That's a huge one.
Yeah. You can't change anybody. So, like I used to, like when I was dating, I used to think like, oh, he'll change. He'll change. No, the hell he won't.
I'm sorry, but I think that seems to be a common... I hear that not so much with men. I hear that with... Women saying that about their romantic male partners.
Scarcity. Scarcity mindset again.
I guess so, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why the he'll change
Yeah.
thing.
See, women with men, I feel like, not all women, but I can speak for myself too. We take crumbs and we try to make it work.
Mm.
Men are the opposite. A guy could be 60 years old, he's like, I'm going to get a 25-year-old. She's going to be on the Dallas Cowboys cheering team. I'm going to get her. And women are like, he has a nice smile, but he doesn't have a car, and he just asked me to pay for dinner for the 4th night in a row. But he's nice though. He's perfect.
Yeah.
I'll change him.
I'll change him. I guess we all like projects, maybe. I don't know. Like, because that mindset of I'll change him is like a project in a sense.
Yeah.
Like we talked about.
But yeah, it's a project. I don't think that's we like it. I really think it's rooted in like, I don't think I could get better. This is the best I can get.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
So instead of, it's easier to try and work at a congruency rather than finding someone who's just congruent with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or at least, not saying that everyone's going to be like instantly perfect.
Saw my big body jump.
Everyone jumped. All right, this is going to be like a very long video, so let's just wrap it up. We got
it up.
A minute. So would you like to share like a minute wrap up on anything?
Minute wrap up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I find both of us benefited from realizing that we needed to take charge about what energy, who is doing what with our energy and who is bringing us value and who wasn't.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to maybe do a cleanup of the people in your inner circle. And maybe not even in your circle. Maybe also, like you said, colleagues. Colleagues could be really toxic, too, and drain you.
Yeah.
So I think it's...
You can't choose them.
You can't choose them. So I guess, just to wrap up, realize your worth, realize your value, realize what you want out of friendships, and don't settle for less. Because you know what happens when you settle. You're miserable.
Yeah.
Settling's not fun. And even though you might be alone for a few months, maybe like a year, if you start giving more attention to people who are bringing you joy in your life is just going to improve overall.
Yeah.
But it may take a while because like the saying goes, nothing good. I don't know how the saying goes, but it's like
nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Well, that could be, but you nothing good happens easily. What's the saying? I had too much apple juice.
I don't know. We got to end it here, Helen, because otherwise it's going to stop.
Let's go!
So thank you. This was really fun.
Yeah!
One last high foot.
High foot.
Okay, bye. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Sweet.
That was great.
Yay, it was.
Yay. COVID.
I know. After I did the high foot for careful reasons, then I'm like, let's fuck that up.
COVID.